26/11 Mumbai terror attacks mastermind and UN-designated global terrorist Hafiz Saeed has hit out at the US President Donald Trump over Jerusalem being recognized as Israel's capital and the United States Embassy shifting from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Now, a UN-designated global terrorist was addressing a rally in Lahore, and Hafiz Saeed called upon Muslims to unite for Palestine's cause and fight against infidels, as he said. He said servants and slaves of infidels are leading the Muslim countries at the moment. He said that Pakistan and Muslims across the globe need to launch a campaign against the move to make Jerusalem the capital of Israel. He termed the move of making Jerusalem as Israel's capital as evil agenda of the Jews. India Today's Hamza Amir now joins me live from Pakistan for more on the story. Hamza, a UN-designated global terrorist leads a rally in Lahore and lashes out at Donald Trump. Bring us details.
Yes, Gaurav, since the time, that Donald Trump announced that Jerusalem is going to be a capital of Israel and the embassy of the United States is going to be shifted there, there has been an outburst in Pakistan. Religious parties have marked Friday as a day of protest. Jamaatul Dawa's Defy Pakistan Council, an organization of around 16 different organizations led by Hafiz Saeed himself, staged a rally today outside, his main headquarters in Chuburji, Lahore, in which Hafiz Saeed lashed out at United States, and even not only United States, but also, lashed out at the own Muslim governments that, he said he called every single Muslim leader as slaves to the Americans. That is why he said the people are ready to lay their lives, but governments in the Muslim or the leaders in the Muslim world are not ready as yet. So there needs to be a campaign that needs to be launched, which Defy Pakistan has actually announced that they are going to be not only launching a campaign inside Pakistan through protests and rallies, they're also going to be sending delegations to Muslim countries abroad, and they are going to try to actually make them realize that this is a time when US is facing opposition from not only its own allies but also countries that have been part of NATO. That are allies to the United States, and that is, as he says, is the best time to actually put more pressure and, get rid of America as a superpower and bring out a Muslim world, the United Muslim world, as a new superpower to take control of all.
So you are saying Hafiz Saeed will send a delegation? Hafiz Saeed will send a delegation to other Muslim countries?
Yes, Hafiz Saeed is going to be sending delegations under the tag name of Defy Pakistan Council, and that those delegations are going to be traveling abroad in different Muslim countries to attract them to.
Amazing. So a UN-designated global terrorist, if this is not mainstreaming of terror in Pakistan, I wonder what else is. Hamza, stay safe. Keep tracking that story. I will come back to you for more. So on Wednesday, US President Donald Trump announced that the US Embassy in Israel will shift from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. In Jammu and Kashmir, locals, reportedly egged on by separatists, clashed with security forces. The Indian Embassy in Israel remains in Tel Aviv, and India has made it very clear it follows an independent policy on Israel and Palestine. But former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah has hit out at the center for not taking a hard stance against the US move.
Jerusalem ki aag singes valley. Anti-Trump fury in Kashmir. Violent clashes between locals and security forces in Kashmir over US President Donald Trump's decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Stones and anti-Trump slogans hurled. Hurriyat stoking the fire, calling for massive protest in Anantnag, Budgam and Pulwama after Friday prayers. The protest turned ugly as the police tried to interrupt. The police and the CRPF personnel resorted to tear gas shelling to quell the protest. The anger in the valley rising 2 days after US President Donald Trump officially recognized Jerusalem as the capital city of Israel, overturning US policy.
We finally acknowledge the obvious, that Jerusalem is Israel's capital.
A day earlier, Trump directed the US State Department to move their embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem.
If the American embassy is going to be moved to Jerusalem, this is against the international law, and this will be unacceptable from our side.
India refuses to be swayed either way, maintaining its independent policy.
India's position on Palestine is independent and consistent. It is shaped by our views and interests and not determined by any third country.
With protests raging in Palestine and other nations like Egypt, Jordan and Turkey, separatists in the valley are trying to milk the Palestine conflict in the valley. Jerusalem is the new political hot potato, with politicians jumping straight into it, including Omar Abdullah's latest tweet firing at Modi Sarkar, calling its stand wishy-washy and mere drivel. India must watch the valley's villains, who are keeping a hawk eye to use this as ammo to foment trouble and stir up anti-India passions. With Geeta Mohan and Ashraf Wani, Bureau Report, India Today.
India Today's Pooja Shali now joins me for more on the story. Pooja, how widespread were the protests and what's the government strategy to contain it nationwide?
Well, Gaurav, it was not widespread, but there were definitely in a lot of districts, whether it was Srinagar or Anantnag, even towards Bandipora, we heard there were protests organized. Now, not really by people in general, but by specifically as a political agenda by the Awami Action Committee, specifically the Hurriyat Conference led by the Mirwais faction, and also Yasin Malik, who's restricted to Mysuma. His organization, the JKLF, also had organized this protest. There were locals, of course, with some very provocative banners and posters against America and Israel. The question again would be, why would there be protests regarding Israel or Palestine issue in Kashmir? But many of these separatists see it as an emotional issue. There were also reported clashes, but no casualty as such. So the question would be, would these protests escalate? Already Mirwais has said that why was the separatist leadership put in house arrest? They are trying to, of course, use it as a political agenda. They're trying to make it more significant. But the question is, are such hartals, which have nothing to do really with Kashmir, does it not hamper the daily life of the local residents as well?
Okay, keep tracking that story. I will come back to you for more. I now want to shift focus to Kulbhushan Jadhav. Now, Pakistan finally sees reason and has permitted convicted Indian businessman Kulbhushan Jadhav's mother and wife to visit him in a Pakistani military prison. Now, Commander Jadhav is a retired Indian Navy official who was abducted from Iran and convicted by a military court in Pakistan on trumped-up charges of spying and terrorism. An Indian diplomat will be present during this meeting on the 25th of December. Geeta Mohan with this report. After nearly a 2-year-long wait, Commander Kulbhushan Jadhav's family will finally get to meet him on the 25th of December in Pakistan. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj tweeted saying that the government of Pakistan has conveyed that they will give a visa to the mother and wife of Kulbhushan Jadhav. I've spoken to Mrs. Avantika Jadhav, mother of Kulbhushan Jadhav, and informed her about this. Pakistan had earlier permitted only his wife to travel to Pakistan. But India sought permission not only for her, but also for Kulbhushan Jadhav's mother to travel together, accompanied by an Indian diplomat. India also sought sovereign guarantees that their security would be ensured in Pakistan.
We are happy to note that Pakistan has also agreed to a request for mother to meet Mr. Jadhav that has been pending since April 2017.
Kulbhushan Jadhav was abducted in Iran and taken illegally to Pakistan by terrorists, where he was tried and convicted on charges of spying and terrorism by a military court. He was then sentenced to death. India had approached the International Court of Justice which stayed Jadhav's hanging and directed Pakistan to give consular access to Jadhav. Pakistan recently informed India it would give access to his family on humanitarian grounds. Pakistan's former Foreign Minister Khurshid Kasuri in India sees this as a positive development.
I welcome it because I think it will help also the process of normalization between our countries. And
India Today's Geeta Mohan now joins me for more on the story. So, Geeta, what happens? What's the next step now?
Well, the fact, Gaurav, is that Pakistan has to make its submission on the 13th of December at the ICJ. ICJ had wrapped Pakistan for having violated all international norms and rules by not allowing any access to Kulbhushan Jadhav. So yes, after the entire briefing by the Pak Foreign Office as also the Ministry of External Affairs, the Pak Foreign Office spokesperson then explained what this was all about, that it is only on humanitarian grounds that this access is being provided. Just goes to show that only ahead of ICJ trial beginning in between India and Pakistan is a move only to ensure that ICJ does not wrap Pakistan on the knuckles again. And the fact of the matter is that over here, while access will be provided, we will have to wait and see whether that will amount to Kulbhushan Jadhav's story really coming out in the open.
Absolutely. Keep tracking that story. I will come back to you for more. For the moment, Geeta Mohan, many thanks. That is all I have time for in India First this evening. Have a lovely weekend.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.